go. Hang on. Let me get you all sorted. Got to get you all sorted just so your little hidey hide is in camera shot. Okay, there we go. Oop, no, hang on. I know. Okay. Hoppa choppa. Okay. Oh, there we go. Who's my good little baby? Hey, Aeon, you hear that? Oh, don't worry, it's coming. Alright, Diva. I know you're going to hate me for this. Before you say anything, I know Diva needs a haircut. She's getting extra clean later. Straight to her adoring fans. You too. Yeah, little fluffy butts. Here we go. Sorry, Diva. I think we're gonna have to get rid of this for now. Here we go. Lunchtime. Here we go. There we go, girls. Watch them be fussy and, like, avoid the feckin' broccoli again. Anyway, afternoon, everyone. Hello. I need you all to help me look after these cutie patooties. So, you're not technically watching a stream right now. I am making you work. I do my Farmer Will thing in the background, so I don't know. I figured you'd all, you know, appreciate a little bit of nuggy time. Nugs in your area and rapidly closing. There we go. Wolfcrad, Shitaru. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Guinea Pig Snack Hour. I think you got a good angle there, right, everybody? There we go. It's a little better. Diva's being her usual, well, diva-y self. But, Cleo's happy as Larry. Look at this happy little fatty. Look at this happy little fatty. I don't know if you can hear her purring from there. So, yeah. Come with me, friends, as we look after the nuggies. Quick FYI. Don't throw in any bits or anything right now. If you wanna, you can reduce me to tears later. Because I won't see them if you do cool things, and I'm always worried about missing it when you lot are being lovely, so yeah. And yes, I did nya at you. Huff, do it again. Okie dokie. Little chicken nugget off the floor. So yeah, happy Monday everybody. I hope you're all doing as well as you can. Like I said, I figured we could all use a little bit of guinea pig time today. If you want my incoherent and mildly unchecked thoughts on GDC today, before tomorrow, I'm happy to natter at you. But I haven't unmade our burrito bed from yesterday, because after the everything, we decided to eat junk food in the living room, so we moved the mattress in. And I tried moving it earlier on today by myself, and I couldn't lift it. So, yeah. I failed one of those, those Baldur's Gate style strength tests. Oh, hang on. I gotta go get the wash basket. We're back in a sec. Chaunerous. And yes, I did see the thing. So, Alnus, the GDC news isn't like super news, right? However, it's kind of... It's one of those, if you can read the signs, not unlike from that movie Signs, if you can read the signs of it, it's... okay, TLDR. GDC is trying to rebrand, apparently as some kind of gaming festival. And the problem is people have had grievances with GDC now for a while. Some of them are just due to the fact that it's in San Francisco. Some of them are things that the GDC as an event can do better. Others are, unfortunately, state of the world, state of the US games industry. But it's kind of like, you know that point where you need your homies or one of your homies to step up and be kind of the grown-up, and they decide that they're going to adopt a new whimsical persona with some like Who Framed Roger Rabbit style bits. It's like, cool, this would have been super funny if you'd done this back in the 90s. So yeah, it's that kind of TLDR of like, GDC's been losing relevance for a long time, and it's incredibly expensive. Like, shit. You know, the only reason I've been able to attend the last few years is because I've been able to sleep on a couch or a floor or something, you know? If I had to pay, if I had to pay for hotels and a GDC pass, nah, I'm cooked. I'm out, you know? Hell, not last year, year before, I took round the Cosmic Crowbar lot to show them GDC and kind of like the ecosystem, you know? I got paid for that. This year, I ended up having to beg, borrow, and steal for food money. It was not fun, let me tell you. Yeah, Lance, you got Nuggo Vision. No, so Alnus, it's more like when E3 said it was going to rebrand, but its relevance was already kind of gone. Like, that's where I'm seeing it. So yeah, so TLDR. GDC put out a thing this morning which was like, GDC is turning into, so it's like, games celebration something or what have you. Also, using the same font as Fortnite, which is fucking weird. Don't ditch your iconic branding just because you're panicking. But alright. And everybody's grumpy about it, because everyone does have an opinion on GDC. The one thing it has that's similar to PAX is that everybody has an opinion of when GDC was good and when it stopped being good. And those opinions very seldom align. But that's another story. The thing I've been talking about a lot today. Sorry, I'm just gonna natter at you about GDC while you look at some cute guinea pigs, if that's okay. But the thing that's been going on in my mind, right, is the reason I go to GDC is to see the homies and to see if anybody wants to sponsor the Longship or sponsor me to make videos for it. Because when I go to TwitchCon, or when I've been to TwitchCon, because I'm not going, I end up dealing with this caste system where people who are legit famous are asking for like tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. And little folks like us, we don't get a look in those conversations. Whereas at GDC, I'm talking to devs who understand it, and when I say to them, like, no, the Longship is special and here's why, they're like, oh, the Longship is special. Anyway, the other reason I like going to GDC is to see all the homies. And this is where, like, the E3 comparisons are coming in, because, like, everyone went to E3 for the press conferences, not for E3. Everyone goes to GDC to see the homies. But the thing is in the same way that the press conferences weren't part of E3, seeing the homies isn't officially part of GDC. None of that is monetized, right? And the only reason we see the homies is because the homies are there to see. And that's disappearing, you know? GDC put out a call earlier this year for special events, and I joked about the GDC bean hunt, and they took me seriously. Alright, Diva, I'm sorry. I know I'm being very chatty. There you go, get some more salad. Divi's grumpy with me because we had to trim her hair, and she knows she's got a nail trim and a bath coming. She can sense it on the wind. She's preemptively mad at me. What was I talking about? Oh yes, just that like GDC's real value was in air quotes networking, and the networking had nothing to do with the actual event itself. In fact, GDC's own official like meet to match networking events have been famously garbage. They tend to boil down to a lot of very desperate students and a lot of like panicked grifters trying to get another round of like generative AI or NFTs or any of that bollocks that never really took off. You know. So yeah. I think the reason people are so pissed about the GDC thing is it's like, it's a failure to acknowledge the reality of what's going on. And a lot of people are out of work and very frustrated, you know. Hey, Down Under Dwarf, what a welcome. Genres, they are eating around the broccoli. They actually like broccoli, but they like carrot and sugary stuff more. So they have a special slaw mix, which is predominantly like kale and cabbage and things like that. But it has a little bit of carrot in there. What they are currently doing is picking out the carrot first. Then they will decide if they want to have the broccoli or not. I told you, these little madams are spoiled. So yeah. And yeah, maybe once I'm done doing the cages, I'll just bring the phone up for a bit of a coffee stream. I figured you'll want to see some guinea pigs before you have to deal with my dumb ugly mug. But yeah. Now, you all are familiar with the rule nothing in ASCII, right? Like, when it comes to current events, especially if you are a citizen in the US, you have to be very careful what you put on recordable formats. Nothing in ASCII is kind of like our shorthand for like, don't write in Discord because Discord is not your homie, and Discord will not protect you. So I have to be very careful about how I phrase things, but traveling to San Francisco from outside of the US is bad. Oh, my little stinkers. My little stinkers. Stinky babies. Yeah, alright, yeah, you need a wash. That's right, more salads coming. Greedy little butts. But I only bring this up because I think a lot of people's frustration with GDC does come from that's not being acknowledged by GDC. And, like, friends, you know how much a 4-day PAX ticket was this, right? Like, if you bought the most expensive ticket for PAX, you were spending, like, what? Was it $250? Like, it wasn't cheap, right? Yes, hello. Yes, hello. Little smoochies. Hey, Dustin. Yeah, little time to hang with the nugs. They're doing very good, but they're having a cage clean at the moment, and they're grumpy because they've eaten all the non-broccoli out the broccoli slaw. and they're now trying to pick the other bits apart before they decide whether or not they're going to eat the broccoli. And we'll probably end up talking about this on stream tomorrow, proper. Sorry, friends, I zoned completely out for a second there. But yeah. I think the reason the whole game dev world is just so pissed about the GDC stuff is it's a lot of feelings all over the place, all coming out at once. And I don't blame them. Like, you know how we made a bunch of jokes about my taco wife last time? Hello, I know. Madam Ski. I know you want cuddles, and you can have cuddles soon. You can have cuddles soon. Hello. 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 Okay. How about I bribe you with some more salad? How about that? My little stinky babies. God. What is it they say? Never work with children or animals. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Just a little bit more. There you go. Get in there, Diva. Yo. I should point out, on cage clean days, the fresh salad is giving to them while they're in the little playpen. So they don't get overfed too. No, so Jonorous, apparently amongst guinea pig lot, it's referred to as popcorning. But yeah, that's a little like guinea pig sign of happiness. Diva's not as expressive when she's happy, so it's quite funny when you see her like popcorning around and you're like, oh, you are having a good time. You know? But yeah. There isn't too much to be saying. Like, from the writing on the wall, GDC might try and do it like as a public event, but to be honest, there wasn't really anything stopping non-industry folks from going to GDC other than the price. Oh yeah, that's because that's what I was trying to say. Is like, PAX is a couple $100 for a 4-day pass, and PAX has no tiered ticketing system, right? So like, there's no like super gold member PAX VIP bastardry like there are at some events. GDC is the opposite, right? An expo pass will run you anywhere from a couple $100 to $500 on site. So if you show up to GDC and go, I want to look at the show floor, that's 500 smackaroos, my friends. Then the talks are broken down into tracts, which isn't too bad, like in theory, right? Because if you work in audio, you know, what use do you have to go to like a, you know, networking and database talk? But those tracts cost thousands, right? On average, about $1,500 for a track. They vary wildly in content. Now, those aren't supposed to be paid for by folks like you and me, right? Like, the idea is like the Microsofts of the world and shit will pay for these like grand sponsorship deals so that any of their folks who are in attendance or who have been sent can go to those specific ones. It is worth mentioning that an all-access pass at GDC is $2,500. Now, I don't know about you, $2,500 is an exceedingly large amount of money. The other thing being, you don't get paid if you do a talk at GDC, even though the talks are what they sell. Like, GDC is completely reliant on volunteers volunteering their time to do talks. Like, you can see how this whole thing is just fucking wild. I have to sweep all this up a bit. Because again, like, the GDC show floor has no value. Like, it's fun, there's Control-Alt-GDC, but, like, there's not like there's job fairs anymore. What am I doing? Oh. Ow. Getting their bedding in. And the other thing that GDC used to be good for is where you would go to get a publishing deal, right? Like, you would go, you'd talk to publishers, you'd pitch your game, they'd either sign you or not. Like, that was the dance. But nobody signs at GDC anymore. They sign earlier because they want you to have a full pitch for your game. Sorry, they want to have you a full build for your game, right? They don't want you to come to them with an idea anymore and a GDD and a business plan. They want you to come to them with a functioning, at minimum, functioning vertical slice. Ideally, they want you to show up with a full-ass fucking game. Exactly, Cleo, exactly. It's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Excuse me. Hang on, can you see that Diva is making like a little, like, Heidi tunnel? You too. I don't know. I do not know how some people do guinea pig hutches with fleece, without fleece. Some folks do it with sawdust, and I cannot imagine a fresher hell. You know, like Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh, hell. Exactly, babies, exactly. Do not look at me like that. Look at that. There's carrot right there, right there. Hey, little fire, Watto, and welcome. What would you like as a small chaos? I've just got guinea pig cam going on. They want better carrot. They do. They do, and they're annoyed at me that they're not getting it. Diva's made like a little tunnel system for herself. Are you chittering at me? I give you all this free salad. Alright. Stinky babies. Stinky babies. I mean, if we switch them back to the kale, we can get some of the baby carrots, which they fucking love. But it's not like they're hurting for sweet treats, you know? I've got the sniffles today. Sorry. Bear with me a second, friends. I'll blow my nose. Tell you, autumn is coming. It's almost nice and cool in the apartment. You're all right, Eva. You're all right. You'd like a sacrifice. Well, I need to be alive for a little bit longer. I've got to keep these babies happy and fed. Diva stealing the show. Aww. Zeke, you fucking legend. Thank you. I hope you're having a good day, Zeke. I'm just doing the guinea pig's cage, getting them all happy and set up. I was just kind of having a little natter about GDC, but honestly, I don't know. I mean, what do my opinions on the subject really matter, you know? I can tell you what's going to happen, much like with E3. GDC is going to try a big rebrand. It's not going to work, and it's going to kind of be the end of it. I know, you can go back in a second. You know, their weird little alien abduction video today just made everyone go, I'm sorry, what? Oh, the water bottle's already done. This one needs a screw. Hang on a sec, friends. Can you look after the guinea pigs for a sec? I'm just doing their bottles. The old water bottle. Sorry about that. Because the thing is, I can tell you what would need to happen for GDC to suddenly be worth it again. But all of those things either should have happened 4 years ago, during like the great gold rush post COVID, or during COVID, or you too. Almost there, okay? Give me a second. Like, a lot of the things they can no longer fix because the game has changed, the world has changed. They can't just wave a magic wand, or what they could do is spend a lot of money to unfeck it. At least as a game dev only show in the United States can be. Sorry friends, I'm just trying to find you a stand I can put you on so you can watch the guineas a little more. Yeah, I know girls, I know. Alright friends. Fajoom! Do 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 do. Look at Nugs. Look at the Nugs. Cutie boots. Alright, sorry, I'm going to plonk you lot in here for a second. Alright. Hoppa choppa 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 chop. Come on. Hoppa choppa 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 chop. Yeah, I got you. I know. Alright, come on, Diva. There we go. Notice how she does not fight me when it's time to come back in here. And check it out. Yeah, lovely new, lovely fresh clean cage. Diva is of course ready for her close-up. Okay. Sorry, I'm not quite done with clean-up just yet. If your friends want a coffee or something, I can go, hello. Get fluffy nuggy butt. Chaunerus, I think Diva was considering it. You haven't seen the hallway? Well, it's a bit of a fucking state right now, I'm not gonna lie. But, Legend, yeah. I mean, I basically got a galley kitchen and it's a dinky little one bed, but it's nice. Thanks to Little Fire, this place is actually decorated and stuff. Actually, I can show you one thing before I continue with Guinea Pig Hour. So those are all the post-its that you're sent to Little Fire during the whatchamacallit, the control break, fire break stream. That's it. So yeah, there you go. The girls will now proceed to rearrange the hutch to suit their needs. See, it doesn't matter where I put stuff. The girls will decide where all the features and stuff are going. I guess that's the thing, friends. There isn't really too much to be saying about all this GDC stuff, right? Like, if you want to make money talking about game development, you either need to teach it or start a YouTube channel, right? Alright, they haven't had too much, so they can have a little bit more. Right, like that's how you make cash doing that. You know? GDC aren't gonna pay you for shit. Diva, come get some snacks. Hoppa choppa 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 chop. Alright, well, Cleo's getting first dibs. And like, I think that's cool, you know? If you want to take the time to break down all of your knowledge in how to make video games, and you want to put that on YouTube or Twitch, what have you, you know, make some money, get you yours. But GDC's not going to give you even 50p in a bag of skips. So like, if the world-class knowledge isn't there as much as, and the amount of times people used to say, I'll just watch it on the Vault. The GDC Vault is basically, if you buy a ticket that gets you into the talks, you can watch recordings of all the talks later on the GDC Vault. And that's what people tend to do, you know, not because those talks are bad or anything, but because it's like, yo, 3 days, or possibly even 5 days, of having people talk hyper-specific knowledge at you, you're only going to be able to absorb so much. Even if you're a fucking genius. And it was interesting because someone mentioned on Discord, like, is GDC worth it for the parties? And I'm like, the parties don't happen like they used to. They still do, it's just, you're not invited, you know? I mean, sorry, I should say I'm not invited anymore. You know, I'm not a cool person in the eyes of any of the big lot. And like, if you aren't already on the list, there's no point asking. You know, we're in that new age of the new cool kids. Right? You know, if you're already in with fucking Inner Sloth and Aggro Crab, then, you know, you're with the new age cool kids. And if you're already in with Unreal, i.e. you're paying them large amounts of money every year, then you're fucking set. But unfortunately, if you exist like we do, yeah. I mean, there's always Slug World, not to be confused with Slugfest, unaffiliated, which is a predominantly like queer punk indie meet. The problem is it takes place across the bay, which is not a small trip if you know the greater San Francisco area. And again, like, US is a scary place to be right now. Here you go, girls. Got a new tube for you. Whoop. There you go. Sorry, I gotta pick up some rogue poops. Chornerous, how dare you use my own words and quotes against me? Now, I'd love to say that I have that kind of impact. No one cares what I say. I'm not invited to the parties because I'm just not in those worlds anymore, you know? I'm not a young, up-and-coming community manager, and I'm not an easy win towards, like, video games funding. I'm a guy who seems to have a squad of numpties in a corner of the internet that some frequent, you know? That's not bad. Hell, I told you all, I fucking love this. What other job could I just be like, hey, people who financially support my entire existence. Can you watch my guinea pigs? Can you just watch my guinea pigs for me? I don't know. Maybe that's the reason I wanted to do this now. I think I wanted to go through my feelings on GDC kind of out loud with you all. You know what I mean? Like, everything's changing. And it hasn't finished changing yet. It's just me. It's just me. Cleo does like the attention. You can see that on her little happy face. You know? GDC... What made GDC so special was going to see your homies, going to see all your industry friends. You know, it was just for the games industry folks. There's a shared trauma, there's a shared camaraderie that when you've been in video games for a few years that you have with everybody else. And as I've said in the past, like, what makes games special as an industry is that we all love what each other do. And we have so much empathy for the process and life that it takes to do it. And that's never more visible than when you go to GDC. In the best way. But, you know, that an expensive conference does not make. You know, we get our little group meets here and there. You know, at PAXs there'll be like community manager meetups and whatnot, and you know, I'm sure Gamescom is extremely corporate, but you know, if you're only doing the biz dev side, it doesn't suck. Maybe that's why I wanted to talk about this. Maybe I've known that the death of GDC has been coming for a while, and you know, like how we all said that E3 was going to go, and we knew it for years, E3 was going to be toast. It doesn't mean we didn't have some fun. Yeah, I mean, Phyllis, you're not wrong. It is the group industry decision. Yeah, and Chaunerus, I'm not saying I disagree, but just remember, nothing in ASCII. Nothing in ASCII. I'm choosing my words very, very carefully. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know. Oh, I mean, we'll always have great tales of GDC's past, and it's not like the industry's going to stop loving on each other, you know? There's just something fundamentally core about the games industry that people really do love each other's work, and we really do care about each other. You know, I know I've said this in the past, but, you know, I worked in film and television is not a nice industry to work in. People are not your friends. They will destroy you for a paycheck. But like in games, you know, we genuinely give a fuck about each other. And I love that. And I don't see that going away. You know? I don't see that going away. Sorry, I'm just trimming the basil while it's on my mind. Basil plants are doing great, by the way. Maybe if I get this place cleaned up, I'll take you all on a tour of the gardens. Okay, Zeke, have a lovely rest of your day, friend. And thank you for stopping in. Jesus, 37 months. We've known each other since before that. But, okay, there's another interesting point. Like, it's like I was saying earlier, it used to be that GDC was the only place that you could learn about how to make video games better. You know, where you could talk to the best in the world about what they're doing. But, like, and I know I talk about Zeke stuff a lot. I don't try and do it to put Zeke on the spot or anything. But for those who don't know, Zeke was one of the first people on Twitch to start doing game development streams live. And that's a thing you can get now. Now, not everybody who streams on Twitch should be listened to on their opinions on how to make video games, but the barrier to entry now is not an expensive flight to San Francisco. You know? Okay. You know, I've nattered about GDC more than enough. So how are you all doing, friends? Yeah, Dustin, we'll do a tiny garden tour in a sec. How about that? I need you all to look after the guineas for a little bit longer. I've got to take the guinea garbo out and then put the guinea stuff in the wash. These two are about to start rearranging this to their own tastes, so I guess I kind of want somebody else outside of me and Littlefire to see their little post-clean ritual, you know? Anyway, how you all been? What you been playing? I have not done anything of massive note except for have a lovely day inside of Bedfort yesterday. I've been playing a lot of Peglin. I tried a bit of Kill the Brickman. I played a tiny bit of Arena Breakout today and accidentally made a silly amount of in-game money. Dungeon Crawler Carl, newest book comes out tomorrow. No! I broke the wash basket! Fuck! God damn it! That felt personal. Absolute terrors. That's my bloody luck. Oh, that's cute. Playing around some beatbops, whipping some tunes. Which one's Titanic, Legend? God, the game names have all been blurring into one big mosh in my noggin recently. Because I've definitely been using my my wish list to kind of outsource. Oh yes, the roguelike train game. That's kind of a little bit Vampire Survivors, a little bit Trainland. I haven't had this chance to jump into that just because it's not been. It doesn't say it's Steam Deck compatible yet, so I'm like. Like right now, I need more Steam Deck games, not less. Because like if I'm playing something for proper, I'm playing it with you lot on stream, or I'm playing it. What should we call it? Wait, Dustin, did you clip me breaking the laundry basket? Why would you do this? Okay, yeah, so Legend, another one. I was kind of hoping that Zompiercer, the zombie craft and survival train game, was going to be a little better than it was, but it wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. I can go and go out in a sec. Because like right now, the ones I'm waiting for is Ball X Pit is going to consume me, and I can't wait. Then what else have we got on the docket? Oh, what was the other one I was really looking forward to? No, it's dropped out of my head. Nice one, Will. But honestly, friends, I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy jumping back into Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think either like tomorrow or Wednesday. But again, like, I don't have too much to report. Like, I got Littlefire into Spy Family, which was very good. Although we definitely all forgot how bad Yor is. Not Yor, Yor's little brother. And it kind of got me thinking about how much, when it comes to especially anime and media, we kind of just block out. We don't really think about when it gets weird and gross. Oh, I did watch 28 Years Later last night, which I didn't realise was the start of either a 2 or 3-parter. But it was good. It was good. Steam Autumn Sale is next Monday. Hades 2 is like 3 or 4 days. Oh god, yes. You know what it is? It's because I don't think... Because we're not going to be doing Hades 2 at launch, right? Silk Song I had to. Hades 2 we'll probably be doing way down the line, maybe post Silk Song or what have you. Hades is incredible. You know, we stand Supergiant in this house. They don't need my help. You know what I mean? They don't need my help. Okay. I mean, Genres, Little Anya is probably the best character in that show. It's just Yor's brother has the sister complex thing going on. Not as bad as a lot of anime, but not good. So I had that thing, like when you... Alright, it's Cleo's show now. I'm sorry, is my phone in the wrong place? Is my phone in the wrong place? Okay. Bear with me just a second, friends. I'll be back in just a sec. I was gone for 1,000 years. I was gone for 1,000 years. Alright, so Cleo is rearranging the top end of the cage and is basically behind you lot. Diva is leaving all the hard work to her. So these two are happy to hang out with you all. Hey Nova, Watto and welcome. Thank you, yeah. Sadly, whilst I'm like... I don't want anybody to do anything super cool because I will miss it. Because the alerts aren't on for anything that isn't Twitch related, and I won't see it. Zeke did redeem a sub spree, but they had to pop to work, so I'm allowing it. Alright. It's time to water the plants. And then... I would say, do you all want to hang out with me while I clean the kitchen, but it's going to be a lot of dishwashing, and I assume that sounds fucking terrible on the mic. Got you lot to keep me company. Alright, now, do you all want to watch the Nuggies for a bit more, or do you want to come with me to the garden? Okay. So most of you were fine either way, so... Afternoon, everyone. So please forgive the state of the living room. As I said, we had a recovery from the World Day yesterday, but welcome to my tiny garden. To see it in shadow. So, some of you may remember that I went on a little manic spree, and I bought one of those, like, from the store style basil plants. Well, that basil plant is this big one here, but also, if you can see it, this little guy here. Get your drink on, mate. And also, if you can just make him out by the window there, I think you can, is propagating into 2 more basil plants. So yeah, my basil's going rather good. Shit, I don't actually have a good place to put you lot. No. Alright, you just get the top of my head. Because I can either water the plants or show you the plants, but I can't do both. But I can show you. Yeah, so check out this little clipping. It's one of my latest ones I'm propagating. I had him in a little tiny pot for a while. He wasn't doing so good. So I just gave him the old GDC shot glass treatment. Okay. And this is the other one I'm propagating as well. Actually, so this is my special gin bottle, which I've obviously cleaned out. Down my local, for a while we were doing a thing where I got a tally mark every time I killed a bottle of gin, and this was my 8th kill. I realised saying that out loud on a recordable format probably isn't the best manoeuvre, but what the hell, you know? Okay. This guy is simultaneously doing terrible and great. So, drink up, young one. Drink up. Strong and mighty. Strong and mighty with many leaves. Okay. Right, who's not had water? Yeah. Yeah, this is my tiny little garden. We're currently looking at things as like a much better solution for getting all the plants in one spot at once. Like one of those like little fold up wheelie hanging baskety things. I mean, it's not like the plants are taking up a massive amount of space, but how does a British person add a door to a fenced-in area? Propagating. If you want to sound British, just drop the T. Oh, mate, oh. Okay. Has everybody been watered? I think so, yeah. Oh, no, not you. There we go. Fearless, do you ever realise, or do you ever think about how your job is essentially like playing ARG detective? Oh yeah, no, we're supporting the Chorbs. In fact, I don't know if you can do the command from here, Nova, but I'm definitely thinking that when it comes time, hang out with the girls for a little bit more, that when it comes time, hello, we'll raid on over to Chorby. Nice. Right, let's have a little coffee break in the kitchen, shall we? Little kitchen coffee. Here we go. Okay, now I can see your messages. So is there anything I missed? You cannot raid. Okay. I like that. Sorry, Phyllis was just saying there's an old joke about how debugging is like solving a mystery where you are simultaneously the detective and the criminal. And you know, Vanderbeest will ponder that, sure.
That's gonna be a chorb well pondered. I might have to. Okay, so if you can't do it, I'll walk us over to there. But yeah, check it out. You know, there's the Hall of Art. A bunch of stuff you all sent me like a million years ago. Oh, there's the Sauron print, and if I showed you all that on the wall. Oh, I need to get a better stand, don't I? And next to it is a little Gundam I nailed to the fucking wall. That was a gift from Eric. It's the Okinawa... Is it Okinawa? It was the moving Gundam that was there for a while. If debugging is the process of finding and fixing bugs, then programming is the process of putting them in. Alright, I like that. God, my beard's lopsided. Sorry, I'm going to trim it later. But yeah, I hope you've all been having a bloody good weekend. I hope Monday's been treating you good. I'm of the everything happens so much variety. And it's... I'm back to that point now where my big challenge each week is essentially like time management, like where I allocate everything to. And I can't complain, right? Like, I'm fucking lucky enough that this is my job, but boy howdy. Okay. Is this clean? This is clean. Alright. You're gonna hang out with me while I put stuff away. Our mod's the part of the rebugging process. Dustin, sadly it's not Vib Ribbon. It's an OG Memnol shirt. We had two variants of the Balu Bowl shirt on for a while. And I don't know if there are any Season 1 fans still clamouring for a shirt. I mean, you'll know... The Longship isn't a squad that makes money from merch, right? Like, you lot just keep me alive. So if we make merch, it's because we want it. Which is kind of the community manager in me, you know? But... Oh no! Nova, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I put you back in with the guinea pigs, but as you can see, I'll do your little fly-in. Cleo is in the post-cage clean stage of completely rearranging the cage to fit her specifications. It's very much the human, you have failed me, I can't believe you've done this part. I almost need to get you all like a stand for a stand. Hang on, I'm going to try something. Nope, I think I made it worse. Yeah. Oh well. I made it significantly worse. Okay. How's that? But yeah. You know what? Good for a Monday sounds good. When you got to make the joke fit. Okay, Nova, I'm actually being very careful not to like biff you all into a pot of soon-to-be clean dishes. But yeah, like I said, I don't have a lot of stories to tell. You know, everything happens so much. We decided yesterday that we were going to spend the day just recovering from it all, and it was lovely. Watched a lot of, well, rewatch for me, first watch for Little Fire of Spy Family, and that was kind of the long and short of it, you know? Friends, I don't lead a complicated life outside of you lot. I try not to. You know? I got, God, I found a pumpkin spiced white wine, which I still haven't had the gold to try. The gourd. There's a joke in there. There's a proper joke in there. Oh yeah, so this is just turning into hang out with me while I clean the fucking kitchen. Hope you're alright with that. You have been brought with me to clean the kitchen. Which, honestly, this compared to drinking myself blind every night cleaning the kitchen seems a little healthier. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, Dustin Golditude is pretty good. Pumpkin spiced homies. Aww. So I'll start calling all of my ghost friends. They're not ghosts, they're my pumpkin spiced homies. I'll show it you in a sec. So no, if you're in the subway riding back now, am I basically like peak little Tamagotchi mode? Just like tiny cleaning the house. Shout out to DJ the Borrowers, doing a clean in a strange way. Turns out you're not allowed to fumigate if you have borrowers. Who knew? Yeah, I was just trying to think of like, what's been going down over the weekend and stuff, and I had a little kind of lunchtime gaming break today, playing my shooty gun bang game, just because I need something to engage my noggin with, which isn't something that I think you'll want to watch. Oh, wet paint. Watto and welcome. Wait, no, not wet paint. Oh god, I'm losing my mind. Oh, and before I forget, this is the pumpkin wine I have to try. Pumpkin spiced Chardonnay. It was extremely affordable, which is pretty much the only kind of stuff I drink. As a quasi-functioning drinker, let me tell you, $7 rum that doesn't suck is wonderful. This summer I've been basically drinking my own tiki drinks. Not a euphemism, by the way. Huh. Fearless, that's fascinating. Like, I know why someone's not going to make a game about finding bugs, because that would be exactly like doing your job. Making a game about doing your job when you don't want to do your job. But I find this stuff fascinating. Oh, yeah, so my weird little thing was, as you may not know, I've been playing Arena Breakout. It's free on Steam, it's Tarkov if women exist. Which shouldn't be revolutionary, but unfortunately it is. And I decided I would have a little run around, clear some missions. Again, it's a very basic extraction shooter, but it's got cool shooty gun bang. I'm having a great time with it. I stumbled upon one of the most expensive items in the game, and ran as fast as my little feeties would carry me to get it out. I managed to find a cheeky little exit in an underground bunker, and I could hear someone tip-tapping around. Because if you haven't played a lot of those extraction first-person shooters, like, hearing is your best tool. You can hear people running up at you, you can hear people tapping around, and the better your headphones in-game are, the more it removes the ambient audio and elevates the audio you need. So I hear someone and they're fucking down there doing their little tap routine. So I'm just like, grenade, 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 gas. And then they come out of there like they've just had Habaneros live on stream for the first time, like, oh god, because I wasn't going to risk it, and I managed to get my little goodies out. And if it sells in the open market, then let me tell you, the virtual Milky Bars are on me. Doesn't translate into any real world funds, but that's fine. Ooh. Fearless, it's not a bad shout. Though I wonder if they'll do anything more with Tron after Bithel and Co. kind of, you know. I hope so. I really do. What happened to not doing cool things, Hamsternator? Thank you. Alright. Not supposed to do that today. Terror. But Hamsternator, thank you. Alright. And just as an FYI, once we're done with kind of like coffee hangs and whatnot, I'm going to be passing you all over to our good friend Chorby, who is currently doing a subathon. And the subathon is to make money so that they can afford to eat whilst being a student. Which, as I'm sure you all know, is no small feat right now. So, Hamsternator, thank you. You terror. Oh shit, you got offered a new job? Hey! Congrats. Don't feel you gotta share that shit with me. No, I mean, share the news with me, obviously. But, okay, I'm gonna shush my whore mouth. Thank you, Hamsternator. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I got a dungeon crawler Carl obsession to feed, you know how it is? And also a person to feed, which is also myself. Alright, we're okay. We're okay. I did not hurt myself. We are okay. Sorry, I'm just loading up dishwasher. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine here. How are you? To Giuseppe the Lost. Tonight is going to be a vodka sauce chicken and bacon pasta bake. But I think I'm going to have to get fresh bacon. That's the current plan. And I'm going to use mozzarella for... Okay, so friends, we're having a weird anomaly right now where Twitch sets off hype trains before it's supposed to. I don't know why. It's not supposed to do it until there's been like a bunch of stuff all at once, because, you know, I don't want you all to think I'm farming. Please, 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 if you do want to throw stuff in, please consider throwing it in tomorrow or another time. Like, yes, this is how I survive, this is how I live, but I want to be able to say proper thank yous, and I want you all to get like the, you know, the Twitch.television experience. But if you do choose to throw in, thank you, alright? I just don't know why these ghost trains are popping up, like, I don't know, maybe Twitch are just trying to get more trains started. I mean, it's at level 4 because a certain Hamsternator of a new profession decided to go air horn sound, cash register sound, air horn sound, which I'm very appreciative of. It's all very wild, but I'm still very appreciative of. Like, this isn't even supposed to be an official stream. You'll just keep me company while I'm doing stuff. Took me a second to read that one. So toxic industry. Well, we can't hear your joke. It is green is my favourite colour. I love it more than blue and yellow combined. You proud of that one? You proud of that one? Thank you. I'm trying not to do too much of the washing whilst we're hanging out. Because initially, friends, for those of you just gotten in, we were just doing the guinea pigs cage. They have now rearranged everything. And And I wanted to talk a little bit about GDC stuff, but while I was nattering about it, I realised that one, I was just kind of having an old man complain about it, and two, you know, it was... There's nothing to be doing, there's nothing to be saying, right? Like, if you ask me, should you go to GDC 2026, unless something drastically changes over the winter, unless they have something massive and huge to offer, nah. And I don't want to say that, right? Because GDC is where I've made lifelong friends, and I've had a great time, and I've learned so much. But I also have to be the one to admit those times are gone. Like, those times are gone, and they're not coming back. And it's more important for us to talk about, you know, where we're going. I mean, Fearless, I've been talking about this a lot, because I know you and I talk about this a lot, which is the churn, right? Like, the churn hasn't finished. When it does, we'll have an understanding of what the games industry is going to look like, but, you know, as of right the heck now, it's not looking like it's going to be close to how it was. And it's important, okay, it's important to mourn things like GDC. It's important to take a moment to, you know, miss what we've lost. But we can't fall prey to nostalgia, and we certainly can't fall prey to, what do they call it on South Park? The member berries. Because the games industry is still going. It's not dead. And I'm still struggling with this wild concept that it's now going to be like Japan as the #1 force. China's got all the money. Japan's got all the creatives. Like, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, exactly, Nova. What's going to replace it isn't going to be what we lost. But the camaraderie, the genuine love that everybody has for each other, like, that's not going anywhere. Alright, friends. So this was only meant to be a cute little hour. I have to get to the store and buy the aforementioned stuff for dinner, as I was talking about. Because I don't want to brag or anything, but I did treat myself to a Pyrex dish. I now own one. I know. 10 whole dollary dues. I'm gonna. I really am. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, friends. I'm gonna throw you all over to Chorby now. Now, again, if you're feeling flush, if you're able to, Chorby is doing a subathon to raise money to continue to be a student and eat. As someone who is entirely supported by you lot, you know, I know the force and the power you bring, and I promise I'd only ever bring you into something like that if it's something I personally vouch for. Alright? And plus it's Chorby, you know you have a good time. But look, friends, thank you for keeping me company. I hope you enjoyed some guinea pig butt and some mischief. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is definitely going to be Silk Song. I haven't started doing the schedule yet, but it's looking like Silk Song, Tunic, Hell Is Us for the for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday and Saturday are the ones that are up in the air right now. So after missing Friday, I want to make sure whatever happens in Friday is locked in. So yeah. Anyway, so to those of you who broke my request and threw in bits and subs and gifts, heckin' thank you. Alright? Heckin' thank you. No, see, I want to make sure we're locked in. I mean, if Placeholder wants to come on over and offer to do something, then maybe I'll consider it, but, you know. Let's go Chorbin, friends. Let's go Chorbin. Ah, Day Chorba. Do 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 do. No one knows how cool we are. Oh, have you all seen my wall of Dungeon Crawler Carl hardcovers, which will soon be added to? Can't fucking wait. Yeah, God, I've got so much stuff I've got to do this week. And they have the audacity to finally put out a new Dungeon Crawler Carl book. Because I think at this point the physical books and audio books will now have caught up, so if there is anything more, like, this could be the end of the series, this could be the continuation, this could be my Wheel of Time. Alright, I'm going to pass on over. Alright, friends. Have a lovely rest of your evening. To be continued. Snails, no. Snails.